Okay, so today started with great news, really great news for any foreign entities that would like to shovel cash at President-elect Donald Trump. The New York Times reports today that the Trump Organization is planning to operate under a different set of ethics rules than it did during Trump's first term in the White House. Specifically, the Trump Organization plans to continue making foreign deals despite the fact that Trump will be the president of the United States. The Times reports that in the months leading up to Election Day, the Trump Organization's de facto leader, Eric Trump, was busy striking up real estate deals in Vietnam and Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. And now Eric Trump reportedly has his eyes set on more deals in other countries in the Middle East and Latin America and Asia. What could go wrong? Now, I know we are in a slowly boiling pot here. After all, Trump is already selling guitars and Bibles and gold sneakers and silver coins and $10,000 watches and NFT trading cards and cryptocurrency and. The list of ways to funnel money into Donald Trump's pockets just goes on and on and on. But this new reporting for the Times shows that even though Trump is about to become the most powerful person in the free world, he and his companies are still open for business. And we are already just seeing just how problematic that is. This week, the Washington Post reported that Chinese businessman Justin Sun invested $30 million in Trump's cryptocurrency. The math of all of it is a little complicated, but this effectively means that a Chinese businessman just pumped more than $22 million of profit into Trump's company. And okay, I mean, maybe Justin Sun thinks Trump's cryptocurrency is just a great investment. But for all intents and purposes, Justin Sun also just handed the Trump family $22 million. And the head of that family, President-elect Donald Trump, could also be very helpful to Justin Sun. That's because Justin Sun is under investigation by the Security and Exchange Commission for allegedly manipulating a different cryptocurrency market. And yesterday, Trump chose an SEC chair who is famously pro-crypto. So Trump's new SEC chair could, if he wanted to, or if Trump directed him to, Trump's new SEC chair could dismiss the investigation into Justin Sun entirely. Now, whether or not Sun offering Trump $22 million of profit will actually influence anything or even help Justin Sun at all, that is unknowable at this point. But these kinds of conflicts are precisely why presidents do not do business like this. It is impossible to know where Trump the business ends and where Trump the president begins. And this one Chinese billionaire buying Trump's cryptocurrency is just the example we have today. Next week, Eric Trump, who again is now the de facto leader of Trump's businesses, he is headed to Abu Dhabi to headline a cryptocurrency conference. Eric Trump is literally traveling to another country to pitch the Trump cryptocurrency to international investors. Are you a rich person from a foreign country? Would you like the opportunity to put a lot of money into the pockets of the American president? Well, you are in the right place. Trump's second term is looking very much like a billionaire's playground. Yesterday, Trump picked former Georgia Senator Kelly Loeffler to run the Small Business Administration. Why pick Senator Loeffler for that role? Well, one big reason might be that Loeffler and her husband who literally owns the New York Stock Exchange, they collectively donated more than $5 million to Trump's reelection effort. And Loeffler is in good company. She is now the 9th major Trump donor to land a top spot in the new Trump administration. To put all of this in perspective, President Biden's cabinet had a net worth of about $120 million. Nothing to sneeze at, but $120 million. Just Kelly Loeffler and her husband alone are worth about $1.1 billion, and that is billion with a B. If you just count positions that need Senate confirmation, Trump's cabinet is worth about $10 billion. Again, President Biden's cabinet worth $120 million. But if you include roles that don't require Senate confirmation, like Elon Musk's role leading the Department of Government Efficiency, if you include those positions, well, The net worth of Trump's cabinet skyrockets to more than $340 billion. Donald Trump is setting up a government quite literally run by billionaires. And today, two of those billionaires, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, went to Capitol Hill to meet with Republicans in Congress about their new Department of Government Efficiency. Republican Speaker of the House Mike Johnson described the meeting as a brainstorming session, ideating all the ways they could gut the federal government next year. One idea Elon Musk floated was getting rid of all tax credits, including tax credits for electric vehicles. For background here, Musk has previously said that those tax credits help his competitors more than they help his car company, Tesla. So yeah, why should the government do that? We are entering an era of government not just run by billionaires, but for billionaires. Government for the swamp, by the swamp.
We're all excited. I know you're all excited that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have joined us today. This is an important day. It's the beginning of a journey. You've heard what DOGE is all about, the Department of Government Efficiency. It's a new thing, and this is a new day in Washington and a new day in America.